Hello everybody and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we are really quickly going to go over a couple of different things here. We're going to be taking a look at some issues that some people are having with getting Navigraph charts to show up in their G3000. We are also which means we're going to actually walk through all the steps on how to configure it again and then take a look at some issues that may be occurring. The other thing I'm going to do is we're going to talk about also how to set up the airways in the G3000. In my previous video, I showed you guys one method, and it was creating double waypoints. And I think I finally figured out why. And I think part of it is actually a bug in the system right now that will hopefully be resolved. So stay tuned. I've also got some news about the new TBM 930 guide. So stick around, guys. This is going to be a quick episode, but hopefully with a lot of information for you. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do while I'm starting up the aircraft here is I'm just going to talk briefly about the TBM 930 guide that's getting ready to release here. I would hope to have it out tonight, but because of this potential bug that I found, I believe that might have caused part of the issue, and it's making creating the document a little bit different. Or I should say a little bit more challenging is what it's doing. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about that. So the TBM 930 guide is going to be updated. Hopefully by no later than tomorrow night, there will be a new release out for it. Guys, if you already have the link, and a lot of people are asking me, by the way, since I've moved to a Patreon only model, if you already have the link, for those people who are current, please just hit me up on Discord. That's probably the best way to do it, or via email if you don't have Discord, and we can go ahead and talk about it. I'm not going to make you guys pay for it again. I'm just trying to figure out what the best method is for those of you who already have the link. Okay. I'm trying to figure something out for that. But moving forward, just so everyone knows, I want to reiterate again, if you're interested in my TBM 930 guide, it is a full tutorial guide with pictures and everything. I just actually happen to have it up here. I'm working on it as we speak. Oh, and now it's freezing for whatever reason. But as you guys can see, this is the TBM 930 guide. We walk through the G3000. We walk through, well, here, I'll just do this. Let's just put that up here for you. These are just some of the chapters that are available right now. I'm going to be adding significantly to it. There's actually more in here right now than is currently on the table of contents. But it is a full flight tutorial with full cockpit walkthrough, as well as the G3000 by working title and all of the features that are available in it. So it's got a massive change. I was hoping to have it, like I said, done tonight, but the changes necessary actually are a whole lot more than what I anticipated. Flight plan entry has changed quite a bit as far as the steps that you need to take in order to get your flight plan in, then obviously the adding of airways, and then there's an issue with adding airways that we're going to talk about today as well. So if you're interested in that, guys, please consider joining my Patreon site. $10 or more gets you into it. Oops, I am melting my engine. $10 or more, so that's tier 2 or above, and you get access to all of my guides. I have an A320 guide using the Flybywire mod. I have the TBM 930, the G1000. The TBM 930 doubles up as a G3000 guide, and the cool part is if you can use the G3000, you can use the G5000, which is in the Cessna Citation Longitude. So it really is beneficial just to go through the Patreon route anyway. One of the other things that has come up is people talking about, well, I can't afford a monthly subscription. Guys, I mentioned this before. I'll mention to you guys again, just so you guys are caught up here. For those of you who don't want to do the monthly subscription, all you have to do is pay the $10. It's the same thing that you would normally donate to. And then cancel the subscription, and you'll still have access until the first of the following month. So the day that you subscribe, you're charged $10. You can download all 4 guides, and then you can turn around and cancel it if that's something that you choose. For those of you who stay subscribers, thank you guys so much. The support really means a lot. It really makes a lot of what I do possible. You can't imagine how much effort and hours go into these things. But anyway, that's not to say I completely understand those of you who can't afford it. These are tough times right now. They really are. So please don't think that you're bound, that the only way you can get it is to stay subscribed. Future updates, yes, you will have to do so. For those of you, my PayPal purchasers, eventually it's probably going to come down to the fact where you're only going to be able to get it from Patreon. But for right now, I'm trying to work with everybody on a one-on-one basis until I can figure out what the best route is. And like I said, just managing the two systems just became too much. So anyway, let's go ahead, and now that we're started up, let's get the aircraft into a position. Actually, I guess I really don't need all of this, but we may take it airborne so I can show you guys something here. Oh, yep, let's go up top. So let's see, you can, oh, nope, ignition to auto, auxiliary boost pump to auto, fuel pump selection to auto, and autopilot trims on. Okay, that's good. All right, so now let's get into first what we're talking about today, and that's setting up. Why did you come back up? Let's come on down to the G3000 suite here. And now let's talk about how to first set up Navigraph. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the MFD. We're going to go to Utilities, go to Setup, go to Database. Now, if it doesn't say available, okay, that means that you have to set it up, but you should see one that says Navigraph charts or whatever the first line is here. You click on it. Okay, now this is going to come up. All right, if a browser window doesn't automatically open in the next few seconds, please go to the following URL. So you can copy, or you can't copy it. You're going to have to type all of that out exactly how you see it. Okay, but what should come up is your Navigraph login. Okay, so we're just going to bring that up, and we would hit sign in. Okay, you can leave this approval access code and just hit approve access. Hit yes, allow. Okay, and it should say that it's automatically working, or it's connected with the working title G3000. And then when you close the browser, you need to make sure you hit link account. Okay, and then it'll say attempting to link. And account linked successfully. So now go to the home page, and from there you should be able to, oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Go to the home page, go to charts, and from there you should be able to now access your Navigraph charts. Now, if for any reason you can't, let's go ahead and take a look at something, because I'm pretty sure that there was an article on their site in regard to this. So give me just a minute here. I got to pull up their stuff here. CJ4, go. All right. Okay, so let me come on down here. Navigraph account linking, use the GTC. Okay, the Garmin touchscreen controller. Navigate, we did that. A browser should open. You will be prompted after step 4. Press link account on the GTC pop-up like we saw. A message will appear. Let's see here. I thought they had some information about ports in regard to this, because this is different. This is for VATSIM. Well, hang on a second. The base sim only provides information on live AI traffic, HTML instruments as a result of the default amount. Nope, that's not going to be it. Okay, so I thought they had something here for this. Okay, so if it's not linking, okay, I'm going to try to think about a couple of different possible scenarios. Okay, if it says account linked and you're still not seeing the charts active, the charts aren't displaying. Because I've had weird issues like that before, and usually just switching back to the home screen, you know, coming back to here, and then relaunching the charts typically works. We would have to determine what port this is using. So the only other thing I can think of is you guys can try disabling your firewall as a test. You know, if you're worried about that, and what I mean by your firewall is you hit your start menu, type the words Windows Firewall. Okay, and you will be looking for Windows Defender Firewall, and turn on off Windows Defender. Click on that and just set these both to off as a test and see if that works. If that works, then it's a port issue and it's the firewall. That's one suggestion. The other one is make sure that you are completely removing the old version and then starting again. Don't try to copy a new version onto the old version of Navigraph. But for most people, I'm pretty sure the issue is going to be hitting that link account after the web browser pops up. So you need to make sure that you're hitting that link account once you come back in on the G3000. Okay. So now let's go ahead and move on to correctly adding airways into the G3000, because this part's a little weird. All right, so what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be using this route here from Tucson over to Chicago O'Hare as my first start. But we're going to do two of them. I'm going to show you guys one from Tucson to Los Angeles, and then I'm going to show you guys this one. Okay, this one is actually very, very easy to put in. The one from Tucson to Los Angeles gives us a little bit of a weird issue, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, so ideally, how we want this to work is we would come in here, we'd go to flight plan. Okay, we're going to add our destination or our departure. We're going to add our destination. Oops, that's a waypoint. Back up. We're going to add our KORD destination. Now we're going to go to our procedures page. We're going to go to departures, and it's got us using the Burrow 4 to the Nochi and runway 11 left. Yeah, that's totally fine. Okay, so we can just hit load. We're not really going to fly it today. I'm just showing something. Okay, so we get that in there, and then now we're going to go back. And we're going to go to the arrival. And the arrival here, we have the Benki 6. So just throw that in there. Transition, not really worried about. We're just going to hit load. Again, we're not actually flying it. Just doing this for demonstration purposes. Okay, and then now, I don't care about the approach. And so for now, I'm going to show you guys how we would enter in the first airway. And for this one, it's pretty easy, and I'm going to show you why. Oops, what the hell is that? Never mind, wrong one. There we go. That's what we want. So from this one, what we're doing is we're going to the Burrow 4. We're using the Burrow 4 SID. We're going to Nochi as our transition, and then we're going direct to SSO. So there isn't any airway coming directly off of the transition, and that's important for this part because this is where I think the bug exists. And if you guys can come up with something better after you see all this, by all means, let me know. So I'm going to show you how we're going to enter this in. So from Nochi, all we would do is add en route waypoint, and this is going to be Sierra Sierra Oscar. So SSO. Boom. Right? So boom, there it is. There's the SSO. And then this is where it gets interesting. So from SSO, we're going to take SSO to the J104 and then exit at FTI. Okay, now this part's really easy, and we're not going to get any duplicate waypoints. Let's do this too. Let's bring this over here, go to map, bring the map back up. So here's what I mean by that. We can click on SSO as the entry point. We can hit load airway. Okay, and the airway is going to be the J104, and we can exit at, let's sort these in alphabetical order, by FTI. Perfect. No problems there whatsoever. Okay, we can even come here and go and see it. I want you guys to see this for a second. All right, so boom. Everything looks great, and then we could just continue onward. Okay, so from here, it would be the same thing. From FTI being the entry point, we would jump onto the J18 to SLN. So let's take a look at that, just to show you guys one more time. So even though this is part of the airway, we're going to click on that, load airway. This is our entry point, the airway. There's the J18. Go to exit, and what did I say? SLN, right? Sierra Lima November. And there it is. Boom. Again, no problems. Okay, no weird duplications or anything like that. You would fly it as you normally would. And then from here, let's see, what are we doing from here? And then we're going direct to IRC, okay? Which I don't know why, but I really enjoy that word. So from here, we're going to scroll all the way down the bottom and add our next en route waypoint. India, Romeo, Kilo, enter. Boom. Our flight plan's complete. We're set. We're good to go. No issues, right? Let me tell you now, I'm going to show you guys what happened in the oops, sorry guys. I'm going to show you what happened in the previous flight that got a little weird. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this flight plan. So we're just going to come in here to flight plan options, delete flight plan, which is so awesome. I love that it's even here. And then we're going to go back, and now let's start this again. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to go from Tucson to Los Angeles because it's got a completely different setup. So again, let me just throw these in real quick. KTUS, destination, darn it, I did it again. Destination, KLAX. Add en route waypoint. Oh, actually, let's go to our procedures. We're going to do a departure. We're going to go from the Tucson 8, and we're going to use the GBN transition. And let's hit load. And this is where it gets important, is that GBN transition. And then the arrival, we're going to pick the Hollywood 1. This isn't really critical to any of this, but for completion's sake, we'll load it in there. Did I hit it? We're going? Good. All right. So now we've got our approach in, and we've got our departure. Okay. Now, how this should work is we should be going from the Gila Bend, jumping onto the J104, and taking it to the Messy Fix. Okay. So the Messy should be our exit. GBN should be our entry point. But I want to show you something. Whenever GBN is part of the transition, okay, check this out. I can't load the airway. Okay. I can't do it. So I'm going to show you something else here. Oops, I didn't mean to hit back. So let's do this. So what I was doing in the previous video, why are we not centered on our departure? What I was doing in the previous video, hang on a second. I want you guys to see the flight plan, so let me get it back up on the screen. There it goes. Okay. And let me zoom it out a little bit. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. So let's just do this. All right, so there's the Gila Bend transition, the VOR right there, okay? So watch this. So here's what I was trying to do before. I would add waypoint, and I would start from the exit point. Okay, so I'd go messy. Because, again, as you guys saw, I can't load the airway from the Gila Bend. So I was typing in messy. Enter. Thank you. And then from messy, I was loading the airway. So, but this doesn't work. So what I can do is hit J104, and what I would come up here and do is change this to the Gila Bend. So there's the GBN instead. Come on. And then select my exit point to the messy waypoint. But watch what it does. Let me try to zoom in here a bit. And I'm wondering if it's actually going to display because I'm not seeing it doing it. Actually, it's working just fine now, which is odd. Interesting. So here's what's weird. You guys still need to see this. Look at the messy waypoint here. Okay, so we have messy in there twice. Okay, so it's going to go over to messy, then try to go to messy again, and the Gila Bend. So it does the same thing regardless. Now I can still load an airway, but unfortunately it's in the wrong sequence. Okay, this messy shouldn't be here. Now if I remove that waypoint, okay, then everything looks like it works fine. So that's one way that I found to sort of work around this. Okay, but the other thing that I found, now I'm going to show you guys this one other way that I tried to do this. And then I'm going to take it up in the air and I'm going to show you guys what it does when we do this. Okay, so I'm going to do flight options. I'm going to delete flight plan again. And let's just walk through this real fast. Get to US, destination, AX. And let's go to procedures, departure, Tucson 8. Nope. GBN, load. Okay, and then go back, arrival, find the Hollywood 1, east wind, all load, that's fine. All right, and back again, and now we're back to our flight plan. Okay, so the other thing that I found to do, and again, we want this to be our entry point, and it's not. So the other thing that I tried to do is I would go add waypoint, and I would add the Gila Bend again, and hit enter. Okay, and then now from here, again, now I can add it. There's a load airway. Gila Bend is the entry point. Airway is J104. The exit point is messy. Load airway. But now, once again, we have Gila Bend twice, and it actually does show up. So what's going to happen, I'm not going to take the flight because actually it takes too long. But I'm going to tell you guys what happens on either one of these that I do this. So you saw when messy was there twice. It was messy here and then messy here. What will happen is when we got to the messy waypoint, so it should show messy to east wind when we look over here on our leg page, right? When we're looking at the active leg, we should see messy to east wind. Okay, what you're going to see when we get into this scenario right here is I'm seeing messy to messy. Okay, but what happens is right before we get to east wind, okay, I'll see it change from messy to east wind with like a mile and a half left. Okay, or 2 miles left, somewhere around there. And that's the same thing that we would see here. So we'd fly to the Gila Bend. Okay, so we're going to fly up here. It's going to show from Rosker to GBN, right? And then when we get right here, it's going to switch GBN to GBN. Okay, and it's going to stay like that, but it's going to continue to fly the route. It will continue to fly to Kaffa. And then right before you get to Kaffa, it will change GBN to Kaffa, and then the rest of the waypoint will fly through as you would expect. Now, we're going to try this one more time because something just popped in my head that I'm wondering if will work. But the problem is I know that not all flight plans will let us do this. So let's see what happens on something. I want to try one more thing. Okay, so I'm going to try doing this time is I'm going to try removing... Oops, that's not what I wanted. Is we're going to try not editing or adding... editing, adding, whatever, we're going to try not putting in the transition and see if that's an option. But I know for some flight plans, you don't have the choice to select no transition. So we'll see. And I don't know if that's just a hindrance in the system as it currently is, or if that's real world. So departure, Tucson 8, and then here. Yeah, there isn't any way to remove that transition. So we have no choice but to select one. I don't have a none option. I don't know if that's, again, I don't know if that's real world or how that works. So let's try loading it, and let me see if I can remove it afterwards. I don't think I can. So there's the Gila Bend. Yeah, there isn't any way for me to get rid of it. Got the frequency for it, waypoint options, show on map, direct. Yeah. So we're kind of stuck with it at that point. That's a shame. So again, this is what was causing my confusion in yesterday's video that a lot of people were commenting on. I was right there with you guys. I know how it was supposed to lay out. And the problem is when we're switching from a transition point to the airway. That's where it won't let us do it. And that's where we get the duplicate waypoints like we were seeing before. So again, just to show you guys one more time, what we would see here is we would have to type in either GBN again. So I'm going to type in Gila Bend. And I think this is probably the best way to do it. And then go to your load airway. And then from there, everything works just fine. Okay, and that is exactly what we're expecting to see, is this pattern right here. Just remember, as you're flying, what you're going to see is GBN once you reach the first GBN. So once we complete the leg from Rosker to Gila Bend, right up here on our leg information on the PFD, it's going to change to GBN almost all the way until we get to CAFA. Okay, and right before we get to CAFA, this will change GBN to CAFA, and the rest of the flight plan will continue as you would expect. So be ready for that. I don't know if there's any other bugs or any other odd behavior that might pop up. I hope you guys have found this video useful. Again, the guide will be coming. It's a little delayed because of this procedure. It was quite a bit of testing today that I was not planning on. But the new version of the TBM 930 guide will be released no later than tomorrow night. I got a lot of my answers today. I figured out a lot of different things. And hopefully some of this gets resolved, because it is kind of odd behavior. But for the meantime, I at least got my understanding of why loading the airways was a little weird. Because again, from here, we could load any airway we want and everything works just fine. You know, we go to J4 and just pick a random thing. I have no idea where this is taking us, but oh wow, yeah. So from there, that's how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to select the entry waypoint, hit load airway, then select your airway, then select your exit point. Okay. Where what I was doing in my video last night, again, was selecting the exit point, having to change this information. It was a pain in the rear end, and it felt weird what I was doing. It's just there was no other way for me that I could tell to make that work. So that's in any situation where your transition point off of your SID is also the entry point to your airway. You're going to run into this issue. As far as all the testing I've done, I did multiple flight plans today testing this behavior, and it was the same on every single one of those scenarios. Okay? Well, as always, guys, be sure to hit that like and subscribe. Leave any questions or comments down below. Let me know what your experiences are. If I missed anything, if you have any other tips and tricks, please let us know. There's a lot of viewers, a lot of people watching it. Thank you guys all for the continued love and support, and I will see you guys in the next one.